Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Git Good at Open Transport Tycoon. Now, we're playing this map in the Arctic climate, and just like the temperate climate, the Arctic climate also has banks. Let's see if we can quickly find one. So yeah, here you can see a bank. They look a little bit different than their counterparts in the temperate climate, and they also work a little bit differently. So in the temperate climate, banks can be used to transport valuables to each other. So you have bank 1, bank 2, and they will both produce valuables, and you can just run a train or just any surface between them, and they will transport valuables between each other. In the Arctic climate, it's a little bit different. We still have banks, but they no longer produce anything. They just require gold. So, where do we get the gold? From gold mines. So yeah, I counted and I found 3 gold mines in this map. We can find one right here. There's also one over here. And there's one here in the mountains. So yeah, I think we should just make a road surface from these gold mines to one of the banks on the map. Now let's see if we got all the gold mines. I don't know why I made the screen bigger, because the map is quite small. So yeah, the orange ones are gold mines. I can see 3 of them. And the white dots are banks, and there's 2 of those. So one is here in this little village, which I just showed you. But there's also one right here in our mountain village. And I kind of want to transport our gold to this bank. I think I later want this town to grow as well, since mountain villages have special requirements for growth. Anyway, I think I'll just start now by making stations near the gold mines, so we can transport our gold to this little village over here. Now, we already have a station here to transport food to the village, and conveniently it's close enough to the bank that it also accepts gold. So we already have a station here. Now the station is not too crowded yet, so I think we can just transport our gold here without having to expand this station. Now some of these mines don't produce much gold. This only produces 30 bags of gold per month, which makes them perfect for road traffic, since road traffic also doesn't have that much capacity. So with 30 bags of gold we should be able to fill 3 trucks per month approximately. So that's still a good amount. So let's full load any cargo and let's bring it to this station over here. And we'll clone it a few times while holding control. Right here, hold control, and let's go with 10 trucks to start with. Alright, on to the next one. And conveniently it's already next to a road I own, so it will be easy to make a station here. Sometimes as you place a depot, you may notice no road gets connected to it. That usually happens when there's a car driving in front of it. Because when the car is driving on a tile, you will not be able to modify that tile, as you can see. So yeah, when you build a depot and there's a car driving in front, just always check if the road is actually connected to it. It might save you some issues. So let's make some trucks for this mine. This mine produces quite a lot. It produces 81 bags of gold, and since the capacity of these trucks is low, it will fill quite a big amount of them every month. So we'll need quite a lot of trucks here. And we'll check on this station later to see how they are doing. Okay, now we just have one more gold mine to connect, which is over here in the mountains. The landscape is not very suitable. Let's change that. By the way, if you don't know how to hide any trees, I use the X button. So if I press X, just everything gets hidden. Industry, buildings, trees, and then it may be a little bit easier to see where you are actually building. So let's make a nice little station here. Actually, I will just use the loading base. Alright, now let's make a road to our little town in the mountains. And how much is 54 bags of gold, 48 now. So that should fill 4 trucks every month. So just think 8 trucks. Let's start with 10 trucks. We'll see how it goes. I think it takes them 1 or 2 months to reach this station. And then they have to unload here, and then they have to go back to the station. So yeah, I think 10 should be good, but we'll see how it goes. Now this one will definitely need more trucks at some point, but for now it seems to be going well, with quite a few trucks waiting here right now. Oh, and a lot of them actually filled up at the same time. Alright, and how is this one doing? We'll probably need a few more trucks here as well. Let's fast forward a bit. Actually, trucks already seem to be returning here. So the amount of trucks we have here is right on point. We don't need any more here. Alright, so that one's taken care of. And right now here there are no trucks waiting. And there's one returning. I think we could use a few more here. So yeah, ideally we always want to have at least one truck waiting here at the station, because then we are sure all the gold gets picked up. So I will just make a few more until when I fast forward I see that there's always at least one truck waiting. So it seems to be okay now. There's always at least a few trucks waiting. Alright, I'm happy with this situation. Now here I may have this amount of trucks here is also still good. Alright, I probably should have shown this a little bit earlier, but let's see. For gold is the blue line here, and for all these cargo types, yeah, gold is one of the highest ranking ones. So that's really good. This should really help us make some nice profit. Now we can actually completely pay back our loan, which is nice. So if you want to fully pay back your loan in one go, you can hold Control and then click repay. That will save you an insane amount of clicking. I only found out about this recently, and I always had to click like a few hundred times to fully pay back a loan, which is not fun to do. Now what I see in this station is that sometimes there's a truck filling up in front with several trucks behind it that are already full, and that's because this one-way station. Here you can see it also. There's there's 3 trucks right behind each other, and that's because the two behind the front one were already full, and they had to wait for it to fully load. I'm not really sure how this situation happens, but we should probably make this station a little bit more efficient, because yeah, trucks will be waiting for no reason when that happens. So what we'll do is widen the station a bit, and we'll make some okay, I ruined my reputation with the nearby city. I should probably make them happy first. So let's place some trees around them. That should make them happy again. Alright, are we friends again? Alright, mediocre. I'll take that. Okay, what we'll do now is we'll place some extra stops right next to it in parallel. And I'm not sure if I can remove these stations now. Oops. So we'll just select the station and use the bulldozer tool. And then we can remove stations if there are no buses on them. Let's immediately remove this one. Alright, because every station is now 2 tiles, only at maximum 2 buses can be behind each other. And that also means that, well, we won't get these long trains of buses, of our trucks stuck behind each other, with the front one still filling and the other ones already filled up. If only I could, maybe if I fast forward a bit I can remove this station tile. Sadly it seems to be the favorite station of these trucks, so maybe I'll have to be a bit more clever about it. Let's just make it unreachable. And here we'll make a one-way road. So they now can only exit this part of the station, and then when they're all gone I can edit it. By the way, to remove a road you can just hold Control and just drag, and then you can remove existing roads. It's a nice shortcut to know. Alright, now always the trucks in front will be loading, and there will be no trucks behind them that are already full and waiting to leave. So this should make it a little bit more efficient. Alright, let's check if there's any trucks that are not making a profit. So what I usually do is I go to the road vehicles list and I just do profit last year. So here you can see all the trucks with the profit they made in the last year. And I can see that some trucks did not make a profit and are still losing money. Let's check. Seems to be these some of these goods trucks. And I think again this city has stopped accepting goods. I hate when that happens. So it looks like currently we have no place to bring our goods to. Probably because the city has decided to make all these fountains here in the center. Which, well, people usually don't live in a fountain. So that doesn't help. Also we cannot fund... Oh, actually we can. So what I will do now is press this button to fund new buildings. These options only appear when you have enough money. It is quite expensive. It costs almost 200,000, and we're not making too much money in this map. But it should help create some new buildings in the city, and that should maybe get it big enough to accept goods again. So when you do this, so when you fund new buildings for 3 months, the center of the city will expand. You can see street lights being built, and now in this area new commercial buildings can be built, so via just big buildings. So let's hope some big buildings get created. Maybe if our reputation is good enough, I can remove some of these fountains. Alright. That should also help some bigger buildings get created. As you can see, it has started accepting goods again. So that's a good thing. Now these goods trucks and this boat can start making money again. Probably a good thing I randomly checked if all my trucks were still making a profit. Alright, that was it for this episode. In the next episode we'll start to make some of these towns grow. I really wanted this mountain village to turn into a big city, and it would also probably be useful to make this town a little bit bigger, so we have a nice spot to bring our goods towards. And because it's a little bit further away than this town, we should be able to make some more money. And because we don't have trains but only road vehicles and a boat, we are not making as much money as we normally do. So any extra way to make more money would be nice. Alright, that was it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.